Alright guys, we're going to talk about this rolled steel texture effect on Titans. So basically this is like an old school Mahler's effect that I use a lot for World War II armor, like German tanks and stuff like that. They have a lot of rolled steel. So basically it's pretty simple. I'm going to use this shoulder guard here. I use the Tamiya extra thin cement. And this stuff you can buy it at Hobby Lobby or any like well-stocked hobby shop. You can order it online. You can order it on Amazon or whatever. It's really nice. The extra thin cement, I recommend that for any kind of model building. Really, I use it for 99% of my plastic projects. It's the most superior cement I've found for building models, and I've been building models for 20 years. So what's really nice about this is it comes with a little brush like this. So you can apply this very exact into all the right spots, right? So what's cool about this too is you'll go through a couple of these bottles a year if you build a lot. I build a lot. So what happens is if you have an older bottle or an older cap, I use the older cap or the older brush now to make this effect. So basically all I'm doing is on the shoulder guard, I take the Tamiya extra thin and I'm going to apply it to the flat portions of the shoulder guard here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pretty liberal with this, but still be kind of neat. And because this brush is kind of worn out, or I've used it as this texture brush, it's splayed a little bit. So basically, you see how I'm kind of just dabbing liquid cement onto the piece here. And what's cool about it is as it becomes a little tacky, you just keep reapplying. As it becomes a little tacky, you just keep dabbing at it with the brush, and you're gonna start to see that the brush is gonna start picking up a little bit of this liquid plastic or this softened plastic on the bristles, and you're gonna start noticing this effect. Now there is a way you can definitely overdo this, so you kind of go slow and cautious, but it is pretty simple, and it does produce a nice effect. So basically, just do that right there. And I'm not being super duper neat right now because I found that you don't really have to be. But don't drown the plastic in cement. Just apply enough to where you have a little bit of a layer and doesn't just go over it like this. And what will happen is as this starts to harden, it'll kind of soften a little bit. And then what I do at the end to further soften the effect so it's not so exaggerated. I mean, this is 1 to 300 scale. So rolled texture, really rolled steel at this scale would not be really visible to the naked eye. But when we paint, I think it's really nice to have textures because it'll allow us to kind of give a little bit of interest to these flat panels. So right here, that's about as far as I'm gonna go. So once I'm done with that, what I'm gonna do here is, and we'll see how well this shows up on the camera, I'm gonna take another little bit of this glue and I'm just gonna gently go over the panel again, but now I'm not dabbing, I'm just literally brushing glue over it, and that'll soften the effect a little bit. And that really is all there is to it. Now, you can, if you want to, you can hit this with really fine sandpaper, and you can really take this down to where it's barely visible. Another thing you can do if you want to go really far with this is you can take like a little dental burr tool head on your Dremel and go over it and start making pits and stuff. But again, at this scale, I wouldn't do that. I would just leave it like this. So let me see if we can get this to look right. Now it looks super shiny, obviously, because the plastic has been dabbed with a lot of cement, but I'll show you guys what it looks like on a finished piece. So here is the first Reaver Titan that I built. Let me see if I can get this to focus right. Sorry, I don't really have a good camera set up here, so I'm just working on my phone and this rigged up setup. So anyways, here is the carapace on the first piece. So if you look at that, you'll see the texture that's on there, and then a little bit of battle damage here that I'm going to have. again, the second tighten. Same thing going on here. You can see the effect. It's pretty subtle, but it'll definitely show up when paint comes on there, and it'll be a nice spot just for a little bit of highlighting or damage and whatnot, and weathering especially, where it's going to look nice on this. I know it's tricky to see it right now real well, but that's basically it. You can do this again. You can do it with, to me, a liquid cement. You could, I guess, do it with any kind of cement, just thin it. And then an alternative to this is using Mr. Surfacer 500. Same idea, you can thin Mr. Surfacer 500 with thin cement and then dab it on with brushes or however you want. But again, at this scale, I really wouldn't mess with it too much. I would do as little as possible, really. But yeah, you can use brushes like this. I used it a lot. I'm at the office right now, so I don't really have other products to show you guys, but that's about it. If you guys have any questions, just post your questions in the comments, I guess, and we'll go from there. All right.